What's up, guys? Back with another Wuthering Waves video, and we have a 5-star selection ticket. It should be dropping around 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time uh, today, I guess. Yeah, because I'm recording this pretty late. I'm not too sure when to post Wuthering Waves videos yet, so I'll pretty much just upload when I have time, which is normally at night for me, or when something important happens and I can sneak in the time for it. But other than that, we have a 5-star selection ticket, and that's kind of big because that allows you to pick a 5-star, pick another 5-star eventually through summoning them, and then you also get a random one. As of right now, for my account, the random one I got was her, and then I ended up picking the GOAT, easiest to pull fast up, right? And then with my 5-star selection ticket, I'm probably going to pick up Encore because one, Xenoblade VA, and two, she just looks pretty cool, right? Now, you might be wondering, what is the best character to pick? I'm going to help you out with that. So, one side I recommend using right now is Pridewin, right? Now, Pridewin has a lot of good info on the characters and has a couple team synergy, including what Echoes run. So, if you're ever in need of a quick, refresh or you don't know exactly what to farm, I recommend this site, right? However, looking at this, you're like, okay, who do I pick? Do I just pick Farina and then one of these two? Or like, what should I do? What I recommend, right? It all depends on who you get as your free character. Now, if you are re-rolling, tomorrow is pretty much the best time ever to re-roll because you are having enough currency to get the random 5-star, then you can select a 5-star, and then you will eventually be able to get another 5-star through picking them through the beginner selection thing. I think it's 8 multis until you get them, but you'll eventually get them, right? And then you have a few multis, I think 3, if I'm not mistaken. I think you have 3 multis on Jinyan, which is kind of big, right? So what I recommend you doing, right? These are the order I think that the characters are important, but all this technically doesn't matter, right? I think these two are the highest value, then these two, and then him. So what I recommend is let's move everyone down, right? Now let's say you get a random 5-star. If you get one of these 3, your next pick with the 5-star selection ticket should be one of these two, right? Because these are 3 DPSs. These are 2 healer supports, right? So let's say you get Calcharo, right? Then the next one you get is whoever you like. She's better. She's technically better, right? Just same as Calcharo is the best of the 3 DPSs, right? But they work just fine. I've had just, I have a friend who uses her and I use her. And, well, he's going to be doing more damage. I still think at this point in the game, every 5-star is really, really good, right? Obviously, some are better than others, but it's not too much to where it's like, oh, well, if you pick, Encore and not Calcharo, you're not going to clear endgame. I think it's just a little too early for that, right? So it's really just pick who you like, right? So let's say you end up picking her, so you have those 2, right? Then with your selection, right, you can pick one of these other 3. I recommend getting one of the 2 DPSs, right? Now, if you want, you could also just get the other healer, and you could use, Sonha as your DPS or the Rover. It really depends, right? Because there are 2 good free DPS options, it really doesn't matter. You could just do this, right? And then you could rock Baiju if you want, and then your team could look like this, right? Or it could look like this, or not like that, sorry. It could look like this, right? It's whatever you want to do, but I recommend not falling into the trap of doing this, where you just pick 3 DPSs, and then you're like, okay, well, now my support is kind of whack because I don't really have a healer besides her, and you need multiple teams. I believe you need 3 teams at the very end game, right? That's why picking 2 DPSs or 2 supports is really good, because Rover and her can kind of, well, she's like a sub DPS, right? But you know what I mean, right? You really don't want to just stack all of your characters on just DPS. Now let's move these guys down, right? One thing you also kind of want to avoid, especially if you are free to play, is dumping all your tickets into one character. So let's say you reroll for Calcharo, and then you pick him for the 5-star ticket, and then you pick him for the standard Banner Pity, and then you have no other characters, right? Not saying you can't go crazy and just use those 2, or just run these 3 and call it a day. You're kind of crippling yourself in the long run. If you are a whale, right, and you're planning on summoning on future banners a ton. It matters a bit less. You could probably just dump all of your dupes into one character and go from there. But if you're free to play and you might not get some of the 5-star characters for a while, I do recommend getting either 2 DPSs and 1 support, or getting 2 supports and 1 DPS. Now, obviously, at the end of the day, if your favorite character is like Encore, let's say, right, and you really like Encore and you're not too in the care for the meta, go ahead, get dupes if you want that, right? But I recommend getting your account set up so when you get into the more endgame content, you're not running like, let's say like you love Kalchara, right? And then your other options are like, where's Yang Yang? I think these are all the free ones, right? So now you're stuck with 1 healer, and then the rest of your team is like DPS, sub DPS. It's like, okay, well, you know, unless you dodge absolutely perfectly, you're probably going to take some damage, and then, you know, it's all downhill from there. Obviously, when the game gets more characters, we're probably going to get more free characters and more 4 stars that heal or support or give shield or whatever, right? I believe she also heals and gives shield. I wish I had her. But yeah, now, getting your account set up is definitely the play. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions on who to pick. Like I said, Pride One has a pretty good list of characters. Like if you go to Kalcharo right here and you scroll down to building gameplay, it'll show you that some good teams for him are going to be Yinlin when she drops, and then Verena. And then if you want, you could run Kalcharo, Verena, and Genshin, I believe her name was. So you can get a good idea of teams here if you're not too savvy with the technical stuff of their kits. But anyway, that'll be it for the video. Hopefully this helps you pick your 5 stars. Best of luck if you're re-rolling, and I'll catch y'all in the next WutheringWaves video.